I think I want to start by talking about something we all can kind of agree on, because a lot of this is going to be maybe a little controversial, but one thing we need are employees for every single weapon. I think everybody in the world can agree on such a thing. I want an employee with the axe. I want an employee with the battle axe. I really want an employee with that electro pickaxe, the shaman pickaxe. That would be pretty freaking cool. Ooh, what also would be really good, bro, make an employee with the guns, especially the miniguns. The minigun would just be awesome. That point blank would be amazing to have. And add it to the appropriate classes, you know? Screw all of the normal minors that you can get in a class like Gunslinger, replace it with gunslinging employees. It makes the most sense. And I think it add more variety, because right now there's only really one employee you get if you're playing Generalist and trying to make it as far as possible, and that employee is the Senior Vice President Miner. He's just a normal dude with a diamond pickaxe. He swings really fast, and it's like, it's so boringly OP. But this adds room for a new OP thing, like the Shaman Holder. He's gonna have that electric pickaxe that can break things in veins. That sounds freaking ridiculous. That sounds way too OP. But you could add it, you know what I mean? Or you could add like the wizards, the ones with the wands. Spamming a bunch of those would just be chaos, and I think that's the type of chaos this game needs. Now, the only thing I don't really know about too much is the axes and the battle axes, because those are kind of weird. Those are kind of, I don't know, I don't really mess with the battle axe too much. I think the axe is pretty cool, but honestly, if the battle axe was taken out of the game, I probably wouldn't even realize. Let me know in the comments which worker you'd rather have, you know, which weapon you'd rather have a worker wielding, because for me, it's probably the minigun. Even though the shaman pickaxe would definitely be better, I think, dude, just miniguns all over the screen, come on, that's freaking awesome. I don't think I'd want anything else if I had to choose only one. Now, another thing that would make sense to be added to the game, everybody agrees on this as well, are some more ores. As it stands right now, there are 11 ores in Coal LLC. I'm gonna list them all too. You've got coal, copper, iron, sapphire, emerald, silver, amethyst, gold, ruby, diamond, pink diamond, right? Is that all of them? Should be every single one of them. Why can we dig millions of blocks down and only get the same 11 ores? I think that could be so easily changed. In fact, I have friends that have done so. I have friends like Dunce and Jinx who have modded the game to add more ores. It's not freaking hard, and especially some rarer and rarer ores, because digging into places like purple, especially because that's the lowest tier you can dig, it's kind of not useless, I don't want to say, but it's repetitive. You know what I mean? Like, you know exactly what you're finding in purple. You're finding the same thing you found in orange, and the same thing you found in green, and the same thing you found in black, and the same thing you found in red. Like, red is the last time where you get new ores, and I don't really think it has to be that way. I think there's a ton of new ores that you can add into places like black all the way down to places like purple. So seeing some new ores would be really valuable. The ones I have on screen right now, I just made in like half a minute, not even. I don't know if they would need to be real. I'm not even vouching for that, although I think the obsidian one would be cool. That's the one in the middle. That one would be pretty freaking dope. Make a super tough block with this really valuable but hard to get ore. That's kind of what pink diamond is, but I think obsidian you could take to a new level by making every block only drop one. Like, put that in the purple zone and just make it every block you only get a single one of them, but it's so worth it. Now, this one might come as a little bit of a surprise, but I do really think that drills should be more viable in the game. Drills as it stands are very, or as they stand, excuse me, they're very like mediocre. I don't know, I've never found value in drills. I think it's cool that on maps like the Sky Mine, they can go up instead of down, because, you know, obviously the gravity is kind of reversed on Sky Mine, but I also think that that doesn't really help their case too much. That's not exactly the thing we needed. In the picture I have shown right now, I put like electricity on them. I think it'd be cool if we had some electric powered drills or something like that, and you had to like charge them or something, because I think the drill could be crazy. I mean, 100,000 2,000 damage per second for $300,000 is not bad, but like there's so much better. Like, I mean, the nuke, dude, come on, this is 10 million damage for what normally is $1 million. And not only is it 10 million damage, it's 10 million damage within like maybe a cumulative 400 blocks or something like that. Probably even more, probably close to 1,000, if not even more than 1,000. But it's so much damage for the price that the drill is like, really? Why would I need that? And so I think being able to upgrade them in some way, getting some sort of electricity for them, you could really start, pushing some boundaries with what's acceptable with the drill and just get experimental. The drill had a really cool concept in the demo. It was like this big drilling station. That was freaking awesome. I don't know why we don't have that. That looked sick as hell, and I was so excited to unlock that when the full game came out. Full game came out. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere, but I sure as hell have not found it, and I have almost 300 hours in this game. Speaking of not being able to find something, I think it's crazy that you're not able to find like stuff that's not exactly ore, but is rare. In the example I have on the screen right now, there are these bone artifacts that I, photoshopped into the map. I think having some sort of artifact would be absolutely dope. I don't know exactly how to go about it, but you could maybe do like this artifact will give you, 10% more drops, similar to the chests, but in a way that's not done by the chests, in a way that the chests would never touch. Because there is totally room for multiplying your drops, or I don't even know what it could be. Maybe like, you get enough of them, you can afford a new weapon, a weapon that you can't exactly buy with money, but instead you can buy when you have enough artifacts. Use the artifacts to build a weapon. Having more rare stuff you can find is gonna bring back, it's gonna bring back that element of surprise that you get when you're playing the game for the first time. Let's go for time, by the way. I am playing this and talking at the same time. Probably should have just played the game and then spoke over it, but whatever. There's just so much opportunity for a game about digging lower and lower and exploring new layers. It's kind of crazy that after the red layer, there's not much to discover. And I put the artifacts in the clay layer just because it was the easiest for me to grab a screenshot on. It doesn't have to be that way. There can be artifacts all the way down in the black zone, or there can be like, little artifacts in the clay zone and in the higher up zones. I don't know. There's a million ways you could do it. But I think a lot of what this video is already and what it's going to end up being is just me trying to say, dude, there's so much more we could explore. Why is there not that option? However, this one is a little bit more of like I don't even know if it's necessary per se. I don't even know if the dev would consider adding this, but just to have an enemy, you know what I mean? I chose the bat because I think what the bat could do that's really cool. My mind goes to the bat giving you mining fatigue, like genuinely messing up with how fast you're able to mine or shoot or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it slows down everything. It slows down your employees as soon as you get bit by the bat. Of course, reaching the quota is already a struggle. We all know that pretty damn well. I think of most people know best of all, because you've all seen the countless videos where I'm off by just a hair on the quota. Like I'm barely there, but something messes me up. But you've also seen some of the videos where I absolutely break the game, and we're not even talking about the videos with mods in them. We're talking about just normal videos where I destroy the game. I think that should be possible, don't get me wrong, but maybe it could be like an added game mode where it's like, in this game mode you have mobs that can attack you and that can give you mining fatigue, or that can give you slowness, you know what I mean? Take a page out of Minecraft's book. Take a look at some of their effects that they have, because I mean that's a very mining based game. It's more building based, but mining is still really important. So they have a lot of stuff that you can nerf yourself with, and I think adding that ability to struggle is really important for a game where all you really do is go up and up and up, or really go down and down and down, but you know what I'm talking about, like the numbers go up. So adding some difficulty to that by adding something like a bat that gives you mining fatigue, it seems pretty freaking intriguing. I'd be afraid of a game mode where there are bats everywhere and I have to avoid them. Maybe I have to mine them to like swing at them or something. Maybe they could drop something. There's so much potential potential in adding some sort of mob. And I think we should get unique with it too. You know, I don't think it should just be bats, or it should just be anything. I think there should be some interesting mobs. You know, throw something new in there. Don't add zombies, don't add skeletons. We've all been there. Give me like a walking coal block that when you mine it, it like gets kind of pissed at you, and then it starts attacking you, and it gives you like a lower drop rate or something like that. You know, there's just so much creativity to explore with that hasn't gone explored yet. I think there's so much potential with adding some mobs to the game. Now the next one isn't, I mean, it's something new, but it's not something revolutionary. We need to be able to scale quicker, right? One of the problems that I have when I'm playing Cole LLC is that I get to a point where maybe I have 1000% pickaxe swinging speed, or normally it's bullet damage, right? I have 1000% bullet damage, and after that point, it's like, what's the point of grabbing a red chest? A red chest just won't offer anything. And we've all known that we want chests in the black layer, we want them in the green, in the orange, in the purple. We want chests down there. We all understand this, but what the chests could be instead of an additive, you know, percentage is multipliers. We could have a black chest that perhaps gives you 1.1x additional, or not additional, but 1.1x of your poison damage. That way now, instead of buffing your poison damage by plus 10%, you're literally buffing it by 10%. That is such a huge difference in this game, and it would make it so much easier to go so much further without feeling like you have to spend your entire day collecting the same red chests, you know, doing the same patterns. Like, it gets pretty boring at some point, because like, what am I doing? I was really hoping that would break more, by the way. That didn't break more. But yeah, there's so much room for that, and the fact that we don't even have multiplying scaling yet is a little silly in my opinion. Plus, it could get better and better with the purple zones, because don't act like 10% is going to scale that much. It's really not a lot. And even 2x, it's not that much, especially if you're breaking through purple chests, which are really damn hard to break into. Maybe 2x is a little bit overkill, but like, you know, you could go for 1.25x in the purple, and then 1.05x in the black. There's a bunch of scaling that you could do, but just being able to not only add on top of what you have, but add on top of what you have in relation to what you have, right? So it's not the normal plus 10%. Each 1.1x ends up being different, because as you stack them, that 1.1x becomes more and more valuable. It's like how if I double my money once, I only get what I started with plus what I started with, but if I double it again, I get 4 times, you know? So it keeps going up and up. I really wish I could get those diamonds, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be a possibility. I tried putting in the small TNT, if anybody saw that. I probably could have done that a little smarter, but I didn't, so what am I going to do? Okay, the next thing, if you don't want this in the game, you're freaking insane, you're crazy, I don't know what's wrong with you. This is on topic of scaling, right? Because at a certain point, it gets really difficult to scale. We know this, we've been over this. Give us a freaking sprint jump slider, dude. Because imagine I have 1000% sprint speed. What the hell am I going to do with that? I'm going to move too fast to comprehend anything. Now, do I think it has to be like enabled automatically? No, I think you can work for it, you know, make it something that, you know, we can choose. One example that I bring up, or I would like to bring up, is Hypixel Skyblock, right? They have a pair of boots. It's a Minecraft game. It's just get your numbers bigger. It's similar to this one, but they have a pair of boots that I think they're called the Rancher's boots. I believe it's an upgrade from the Farmer's boots, and it's pretty damn expensive, but they give you a lot of speed. And not only do they give you a lot of speed, but they allow you to set your speed to whatever you want. And it's a luxury. It's a huge luxury. I think we can have something similar in this game with both sprint speed and jump boost. Because the same thing with jump boost, you know, if you're jumping 500 blocks on max jumps, that affects your small jumps too. So like if I want to make this jump from here to here, let's say, this is pretty easy. But if I had a bunch of jump boosts, I would have to go whoop like I'm on the damn moon and then land back here. That's ridiculous. There's no reason why I should be punished for getting something that should be a buff. So adding in a luxurious, you know, something that is like $5 million and you unlock this slider, it buffs your movement, which everybody loves some good old movement, and it just adds more incentive to make money into a game. Because something I've also noticed is that after a certain point, you're like, why am I making money? Like I don't have anything to spend it on, but workers. And so it really ties the value of a worker to the value of $1, but I think there's so much more that $1 could be worth. Plus, this would make the hoverboard way better because the hoverboard itself scales only off of your sprint speed, right? And that's fine until you get too much sprint speed, and then it's like, well, damn, this $500,000 tool that I got in order to move faster is actually moving me too fast. Now I can't really get a grip on anything. If I want to scale up, if I want to get some chests, it's really hard to do so because you have to be really precise or just stop sprinting overall, which is way slower. So it ends up being quicker to go for something like angel wings, which negates both sprint speed and jump boost, which is really silly in my opinion. I think the $500,000 moving device should be much more efficient than the $25,000 one. Now the eighth thing I think I would love, this might be a little selfish. Look, I love Dog the dog, right? That is what we call the dog on this channel. We call him Dog the dog. DAWG, the DOG. He's a freaking goat. Well, he's a dog. You get the point. He's awesome. But, I mean, really, he kind of is useless. And I say that in the nicest way possible to the dog himself. He's like, in the beginning, maybe he's a little tiny bit useful. In the mid-game, and I'm talking the beginning, like the first 5 days. After that, it's like, why would I need a dog? You know what I mean? There's no point. When he gets useful, actually, he gets useful in the late game. And I think that is way stupid for something that costs, 5 sapphire, I'm pretty sure? So my take on what this could look like for making the dog more important, both in the early game, mid game, and late game, is keep the 5 sapphire requirement. That's cool. We are kosher with that. That's nothing. But since he's yellow, right, he's low-key kind of golden, how about we add some tiers to the dog? How about we get some upgrades on our dog himself? Now, it doesn't have to be a new dog. It could be a new dog. I don't know. I don't care. But I think it could be cool if you had maybe like a ball or something. I actually saw a ball, like a bouncy ball, in the files for the game. This is a little bit of a leak, but anyone who's modded the game could find this, and modding the game really isn't that hard. There's already a ball in the files. How about we use that ball to, we'll make 2 of them, right? We'll make 2 different balls. One of them will be a diamond rubber ball, and the other will be a pink diamond rubber ball, let's say. And when you want to upgrade your dog, you can throw a diamond bouncy ball, and he'll go away for the day, and he'll go fetch it. And he'll come back the next day as a diamond dog. I think that sounds pretty friggin' cool. I think a diamond dog would be awesome. I don't think anyone would complain about a diamond dog, but we don't even have to stop at diamond dog. How about we get a pink diamond ball, and now we have freaking a pink diamond dog. I should have put water down, by the way. I think I'm just gonna go to the main menu and restart today because I low-key have been neglecting water. But yeah, if we had a pink diamond dog, maybe these dogs could give you more drops on the blocks that they find, right? So if you break a block that the dog is pointing on, let's say you have the pink diamond dog, you get 50% more drops. And then if you break a block that the pink diamond dog is pointing at, instead of the diamond one giving you 50%, the pink diamond one gives you 100%. That gets better as time goes on, because as time goes on, you're getting into more and more deep layers. You're getting into the purple layer eventually. At that point, having a pink diamond dog would be huge. And you can make these rubber balls expensive. Like they don't have to be cheap things. That's the thing. I'm not asking for freebies here, because that's lame. That makes a game boring. Nobody wants a game that's too easy. But I think the idea of having the dog in the game at all is really cool. I do really appreciate having Dog the dog. I think he's animated really good. Like, he's a cool looking dude. But I want to be able to enjoy his presence more. Right now, I feel like all he is just a prerequisite to the vacuum. And I don't think we need any more prerequisites to anything. I don't think that's ever been useful, No one's ever been like, yeah, I think the vacuum is a good idea. But what if there was something completely useless that you had to get first? It's like, what are we talking about? Why would that ever be a thing? So being able to upgrade the dog, oof, I think that would be really cool. Get some more drop rates, maybe some other buffs. I don't know about them. Maybe if you added enemies into the game, like bats in the game, you could have the dog attack the bats. You know what I mean? So now not only is the dog just something for drops, but now he's actually pretty damn useful, because nobody wants to deal with bats. You could do it like how creepers in Minecraft, I'm relating it to Minecraft a lot because it's one of my favorite games, but the creepers in Minecraft ward off, or the cats ward off the creepers. And I'm pretty sure the dogs in the game ward off skeletons, and there's something that the birds ward off, but I don't remember. So like even the birds are useful in this game. Why is the dog so useless? The ninth thing I want to add is a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit weird. I think it could be really cool though. I want to add some sort of like caveman update, because the thing about mining, right? It's so primal. It's just in us. You know what I mean? It's literally just extract nature. That's all mining is. So I think having some sort of like some sort of caveman class would be really freaking cool. One idea that I have is a club that you can sharpen over time, so you can get sharper and sharper clubs, and then maybe this could replace the battle axe, because my emotions on the battle axe are very mixed in not so good of a way. So I'm thinking like if you could have a ball and chain with better and better upgrades that you can swing around, and the physics are actually random instead of the battle axe where it's just in a circle around you. I think a circle around you is pretty freaking boring, but being able to have that random physics, like ragdoll physics almost, could make it a lot more fun to use the weapon. And then I have the idea of a campfire, which kind of takes inspiration from the mortar, but I think what it would do is it would like burn the blocks under it within a radius. That way, because I think fire is such a cool thing that you could really explore. I did not make that much money today. What the hell? I guess the red zone really is not worth my time. But yeah, something that brings some caveman-esque class to the game. I think there's a lot you could explore with cavemen. I mean, that even goes back to the artifacts. You know what I mean? Like, what if you could find some bones and start making some bone tools? And then as time progresses, you can make better and better bone tools, for example. I don't know. It's something that I think that has a lot of value in the game, like being a caveman, having stuff that's very primal, because the game is a very primal game. Like I said, you're just using the earth to profit. That's about as primal as it gets. I mean, we've been doing that for ever since we existed. Also, I don't think this mortar was a good idea. I'm just experimenting. We're not trying to do anything crazy in this gameplay. But let's move on to the final idea that I have for Coal LLC. This is something this could be really dope if we add it into the game, even more than the caveman, even though the caveman I have a little bit more of a sentimental value to. Let's add some high tech to Coal LLC, bro. Let's make it futuristic. I brought up this like big drill mechanism that used to be in the demo that was like coming soon, demo locked, and how that doesn't exist anymore. I think we can scale that up a notch, right? We have a nuke in the game, so we know we have modern technology. We also have prehistoric technology, or stuff that's a little more medieval per se, like the mortar. This is not in common use anymore. We use guns, but it's still in the game. There's guns in the game. There's nukes in the game. There's a hoverboard in the game, for crying out loud. Like, there's real opportunity for there to be this awesome futuristic class where you have to use some sort of like weird techie sci-fi tool set in order to mine coal and mine other resources. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Which one out of the 10 would you rather add? I don't know which one I'd rather add, honestly. I think techie tools would probably be the coolest thing, just because they would allow for so much more tech. I mean, literally, it would allow for way more gameplay, way more optimization in the game. But let me know which one was your favorite. Smash that smash button, like that like button, of course. Join the Discord in the description, discord.gg/trio. And yeah, click that video on the top right, because if you made it to the end of this video, I trust YouTube to give you another video that you'll really love.